Week 7 in Fredericksburg area high school football certainly is shaping up to be an interesting week. We have some teams that really have performed quite well thus far into the season, and that means that we've got some big-time matchups looming, not just this week, but in the weeks ahead. But let's look at Week 7 to start off with, fellas. Which of these wonderful games most intrigues you?
I think Forest Park Colonial Forge is clearly the most important game for this area, right?
Can I give you a little Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend? I think you already did that earlier today, but Chancellor at Courtland, we got a huge rivalry game there, both 4-1. That's a huge matchup there. I think you had an interesting stat about
Chancellor Courtland. This is here we go, digging deep into the numbers. This is the fewest combined losses for in a Chancellor Courtland game since 1990. That year,
wow.
That year Chancellor came into the game 4-1, was headed for the state semifinals. Courtland was 5-0, was heading for a 7-4 season. At no other point have both these teams entered the game with as few as 2 combined losses.
So a couple of teams that have some rich history, but it's been a while since both teams have been, let's say, at the top of their game and met each other in the same year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, best Chancellor Courtland game in the last 20 years, I think, is pretty fair.
Maybe 25.
Maybe.
Years. Yeah. That's it should be. I hope that it's a good game. It certainly bodes well. Lots of storylines leading up into this one. Do we know yet who's going to be covering it? Who gets the cake?
That is a deep, dark secret right until kickoff there. You know, maybe you ask us, Nathan. I don't know who to say. You know, people say who's going to win Chancellor Courtland. I have no idea.
I don't either. I mean, I think, we talked about Chancellor earlier about them kind of going on this roll here. I don't think any of us really thought that they were going to be this good, and they are. They clearly are. They've proven to be, a strong team. Courtland's strong yet again. Both these teams just have so much talent. I flip a coin at this point for me.
Yeah, and it's contrasting styles, of course. Chancellor's going to bring Jason Brown, and they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit. Courtland is going to hand the ball off and hand the ball off and hand the ball off, hand the ball off again, and then maybe try to throw it deep to Jabari Allen. Defense, maybe Courtland's defense has been a little more tested, maybe. But, they've both played really good schedules. They've both played good opponents. They've both put up a lot of points. It's, you got a coin to flip? Do we have one?
Is this going to be one of those 10-7 games again, like Massaponax Courtland to start the year? I mean, we're talking, you're hyping up the offenses there, but I think they both have really good defenses as well. These are two really well-rounded teams and an exciting matchup. I can tell you definitively, I will not be there, sadly. So somebody will have the pleasure.
You'll be enjoying South Beach, right?
No, I'll be in Blacksburg covering college football. But,
I think the key thing with Chancellor and Courtland, I think when you talk about playoff implications, I think the winner here has got a great chance to finish in the top 4 in the 4A East. The loser, you're still at home in the playoffs. You're still at home at least 1 round, maybe in 2 rounds, but I think the winner here definitely has a little bit of an advantage there. That's a great one. And then everybody in Stafford County is going, well, hold on a second. Brook Point North Stafford.
As a person who covers a lot of Stafford County football, this is the one that I'm really looking at, is Brook Point at North Stafford. Both teams are 4-1. Both teams have these really balanced offenses with great tailbacks. They're both really dynamic. I don't know who to pick in this one either, but it's going to be an exciting, fun matchup of 2 of Stafford County's best. And like we said earlier, there's a lot of really good teams in Stafford County.
Yeah, and you were saying there, you were talking about Chancellor and Courtland and the chance of that being a defensive struggle. I don't think there's a chance Brook Point North Stafford is a low-scoring game. I think that's a high-scoring game.
No, I think they both figure out a way to put some points on the board there, and if it's not on offense, that it could be Knockham Morton. It could be the special team.
Yeah, maybe. They definitely have those weapons. Both teams all around the ball. Great game. Forest Park Colonial Forge is an important game this week.
It is an important game. Yes.
Big 6A South game. Forest Park is 4-1. Colonial Forge is 5-1. You clearly at this point like the strength of the Stafford schools over the Prince William schools. But Forest Park is 4-1 coming off a game against Riverbend, a win. I think that's a good game. Spotsy King George also, a pretty important game for 2 teams that, maybe can't quite afford a loss if they want to talk about making a playoff trip at the end of the season. 2 teams that really want to win that one.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that that this week's games have lined up. I can't remember, at least for me in recent memory, a week this deep into the season where we have so many teams with winning records playing against each other in games that truly matter. Good matchups. Oh, yeah. It's just a joy.
Yeah, and Mountain View Potomac is one of those Conference 15 games. It's a big one. Powhatan Louisa is a big Jefferson District game. There's a bunch of really good games here between I think the very best teams and then those second-tier teams that are sort of saying, no, wait, we're playoff teams. Well, this is a big week for those teams.
Yeah,
big week for those teams.
No doubt. Lots of good games that are on the docket for this week. I hope you're able to get out and get to see at least one of these awesome Fredericksburg area high school football games.